It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight we'll be watching the Utah Jazz playing against the New Orleans Pelicans at Smoothie King Center. New Orleans comes into this one following a loss to the Wizards in Washington. They suffered an upset loss, perhaps a loss of focus, but you can be certain that won't be the case tonight. Well, it's rare these days to see a big man like Anthony Davis who can explode on the offensive end the way he can. What makes him so potent, Kenny?
Inside, outside, Ernie. You know, he can get it inside, he can get it outside. He's impossible to guard. And 50-point nights. I'm telling you, 50. 5-0. All possibility.
And what I like, he gets all the touches he wants on the floor. Way to feed the big man, Pelicans.
That's the same thing you use for the Hawks.
It's still a bird, though, right?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Horrible. Kevin Harlan, it's all yours.
Here's the deal, Rook. You lead the league in scoring, that's great. You're a superstar, super, yeah. You even signed a huge contract, that's awesome. But the bottom line is, if you don't have a signature shoe, you ain't made it yet.
He's right.
So Draymond Green hasn't made it yet?
Nope.
Not even close, man.
And Boogie hasn't made it yet?
No, Boogie has not made it yet.
All right, but Paul George just got his signature shoe last year. So you say he didn't make it till then?
Exactly.
Facts.
Okay, well then, what about you?
Yo, you gonna take it there?
Cool, B.
What about me?
Man, you don't have the signature shoe deal.
Yeah, I should have a shoe deal, but of course these companies are biased.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. They are biased. Against role players.
Oh, that's how you really feel?
Snap. Yo, DJ, that ain't right, man.
All right, Rook.
Yo, that was harsh, DJ. Come on.
Man, you think Sham thinks I'm gonna get a shoe deal? I mean, Brian has been talking.
Yo, he knows it. That's why it's so harsh, man. You know, hit him where it hurts.
I feel bad, B. Hey, Sham. I was just playing, man. Look, but if I do get my signature shoe, you could be in my commercial.
The Jazz are away from home as they take on their Western Conference rival in today's game. Welcome, folks, and thanks for sharing part of your weekend with us here at 2K Sports. With Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. For the Pelicans, happy to be here in New Orleans right now in the midst of a homestand. They're among the league's powerhouse teams, presently in second place in the West.
And, you know, for the Pelicans, they've had a dream season. And I think they're only going to get stronger as we approach the postseason.
You know, and that's something we see a lot from teams that come out of the blue like they have this season. Their confidence just grows and grows with each passing week, and they hit the playoffs riding high.
All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Taking a look at the Jazz. Hill and Hood in the backcourt. Cephalosha is out there with Uretko, and it's Gobert in at the 5, roaming the paint. Doris late season, several championship contenders preparing their postseason strategies. It's fun to watch, and the maneuvering going on. How important do you think in earning home court advantage versus being your healthiest takes advantage?
Yeah, I think if you were going to talk to any of the head coaches in the NBA, they would say to you they will always take health over home court advantage. The other thing they would say to you, Kevin, is I would rather be rested than ready. And so both of those things are important.
Interesting.
What's up, gentlemen?
Greg, when you watch DeMarcus Cousins play, you can see the beating he takes in the post, can't you?
Yeah, and that's just how it goes with star centers, with the size and activity of Cousins. Just like Shaq in the sense, big bruising centers are hard to officiate. Other players can lay into them and not even make a dent, but anyone else, it would be a foul.
Just 5 to shoot. Here's Hood. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
Well, I think given his size, Rodney Hood can be very efficient on the interior. This guy feels at home in the paint.
Here's the doctor, covered by Rubio. The shot's good from the doctor.
and just showing you his determination despite the size difference.
I mean, how does he get that shot off? I mean, he had to angle that perfectly to get past the defender.
They set the pick. Cephalosha dishes to Rubio. From about 16, it's up and it's off the mark. He's 0 for 1. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, I was able to speak with Quinn Snyder just before the game. He said that interior presence is #1 on their list defensively. Told me that they have to make it difficult inside and close out the passing lanes to prevent easy looks in the paint. We'll see if that works for him, Kevin.
Thanks, David. Cephalosha passes to Urebko. Shoots a 3. They get it back, and he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle, too.
Yeah, I think Gobert is excellent eating the caroms. This guy has a real nose for the basketball.
Rudy Gobert, not really a post-up threat, but he's become very effective in the pick and roll.
I think he's focused, Kevin, on setting better screens, and he's shown flashes. Pretty pass here, a dribble move there. I think you see the potential beyond just dunks and offensive rebounds for the Stifle Tower.
That one misses. And the Pelicans at last season's trade deadline making the big deal for DeMarcus Cousins.
You know, you look at Anthony Davis being paired with Cousins, and certainly on paper, you could make the argument that they've got the best 1-2 punch on the front line in the league. Two Kentucky guys, great size and offensive skill in terms of their versatility. If they can surround them with shooters and some perimeter defense, I think this group could be scary.
New Orleans leading by 3 on the wing. Davis. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played, Clark the pass to the dock. Rubio with the rebound.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
This is the pace that Rubio loves, fast and furious.
Here's the doctor. A 24-point outing in their last game against Washington.
And his passing was simply amazing. A lot of fun to watch.
Gobert with the block. Outside Hood. He kicks to Gobert. Rubio outside. Gobert the screen. Cephalosha with it. Hill's there. Lets it go from deep. Rubio misses. New Orleans in the lead. Outside Hill. Shot, high post. And it's Davis missing.
Maybe not that time, but he'll hit more than his share if he's left open.
Dishes it to Rubio. And Davis sends it back.
He's got that huge wingspan, and boy, does he use it well on the defensive end. If Davis is within shouting distance of the shooter, there's a good chance he'll get a hand on it.
For Utah, they've gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. And Rubio kicks to Hood. Gobert with a screen for Hood. Gobert the screen. Shoots from the right block and misses it off the right side of the rim. Pulls from the top of the key. Pelicans keep it alive. Moves back up. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Break from his one-and-done season at Kentucky, leading college basketball in block shots. We knew Anthony Davis could dominate defensively, but did you have any idea he'd be this good offensively?
None. I mean, with his length and athleticism, you knew he'd have an impact as a finisher. But the way his shooting has developed, it has been remarkable. Now, granted, this was a guy that at one point was recruited to play point guard coming out of high school, but he's playing more like a shooting guard with his skill set.
And he makes the first. And so Anthony Davis nails both of them. Jazz trailed by 3. And here's Rubio. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against the Grizzlies in Memphis.
And one of the big ways he came through was at the foul line. They couldn't contain him. He was equally effective at scoring baskets as well as getting to the line.
I think we know this about Rodney Hood, Kev. He will play hard on both ends of the floor, and he's a lethal shooter from range.
The Jazz shooting their second and third shots at the line right here.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
He's off on the first. And Rodney Hood played one season at Mississippi State, then transferred, played another season at Duke. A good floor spacer, Greg, at 6'8".
You know, it's his in-between game that impresses me. Able to beat his man off the dribble. He can hit that little pull-up or drop it off to a teammate. This guy continues to improve.
He hits the second from the line. For New Orleans, they've gotten just 3 of their first 9 shots to go down in this game. Here's Clark. By Hood. Davis, the pass to the dot. That's in there. Davis with the assist.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Jazz trail by 4. Hood with it. He's coming off a 19-point game against the Grizzlies in Memphis. And he's good on the 3-ball. Hood's got 6.
Quick trigger from Rodney Hood. He takes no time getting the shot off after the catch.
Here's the doctor, covered by Rubio. Good on the bucket.
Well, you can see he's feeling it right now. Shots dropping from all over the place this quarter.
For Utah, they've gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. Here's your Rebko. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Memphis. Cephalosha dishes to Gobert. Like at 6. Hood with it, picked up by Davis. He got right to the cup using that screen. That's now 8 points for Rodney Hood.
Beautiful form on the floater. Rodney Hood continues to develop that offensive arsenal.
Here's Davis on the 3 off target.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Rubio misses.
Well, it's been an up and down quarter for him on the offensive end. Mostly down, though.
Pass to Hill. Davis sets a screen. Off the pick. Rebound, Utah. They come into this one following the loss to the Grizzlies.
And offensively, that night, it seemed like anytime they took 1 step forward, they'd end up taking 2 steps back.
It didn't seem, Greg, like they ever got any rhythm on the offensive end. They were in a hurry to get their shots off. Really difficult to win that way.
And the Pelicans making a change here. Holiday's checked in. Utah also making some changes. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Urebko. And Alec Burks subbed in for Thabo Cephalosha. The Pelicans shooting in this first quarter around 38%. They're looking a bit creaky out there. Over to the left wing. Ajinça kicks to Hill. Lets a floater go. That one misses. Now the Jazz take it the other way. Their last meeting was in New Orleans, where they were unable to fight off the Pelicans.
Really a resounding loss the last time they matched up. They got absolutely manhandled on the board.
You know, sometimes it's about gang rebounding, making sure everyone's in on the responsibility to board it. Let's see if it's more of a group effort tonight.
And so it's New Orleans with it, following the 3 from Alec Burks. And Hill has puts it in the corner. Davis sets a screen. Snatched away. Now, here's Burks. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Memphis. Hood gets the bucket.
I don't think you can give Rodney Hood any daylight. He is extremely reliable from the perimeter.
Here's the doctor. He's got 6 on the wing hill. Outside Holiday. Davis sets a screen. And they get it. The shot by Holiday, no good.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
And he makes that one. Now it's a 7-point Utah lead.
Boy, what a quarter for this guy. Just give him the basketball and get out of the way.
The drive by Rubio. And so the ball out of bounds. Davis touched it last. Allen's checked in for Solomon Hill. Derek Favors checked in for Utah. Mitchell comes in for Hood. And Rubio kicks to Favors. The dish to Mitchell. And the pass to Rubio. There's a screen. 6 on the shot clock. Favors with the screen. And the basket by Rubio. Rubio's got 5.
And from the opening tip, they have been in complete control of this one.
Yeah, you know, it looks like they've wanted it more. Outstanding hustle and determination throughout.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Where the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for Utah.
And the one thing that jumps out at me when you look at that shot chart is just how little scoring they get from out above the free throw line extended three-point range. They've got to get more points from out high if they want to improve their offense.
Here's Holiday. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
Well, without great floor spacing, the Jazz have to work harder than most teams to find quality shots. They're very patient and methodical running their offense.
And because of his size, that's a difficult shot to contest.
Almost unguardable, you could say, Greg. Skilled at holding the ball so high, defenders can't get to it.
Here's Mitchell. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. Over Allen. That's short off the rim. And the Jazz run a half-court offense. A lot of cuts and screens to create their shots.
Well, they are right near the top in what we call screen assists. Shots created off a screen. Ironically, not a ton of regular assists, despite all the passing required in their offense.
Jazz leading by 8. Here's Dedmon. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. Mitchell kicks to Favors. Rubio the pass to Dedmon. Here's Mitchell. Excellent D there from Holiday.
And it's not easy to get those stops at the rim, but he does a great job with it.
Yeah, he can make it look simple on the interior when it's really not. He knew exactly how to guard on the inside.
Now here is Holiday. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
And Rubio kicks to Favors. Burks dishes to Favors. To the paint, here's Rubio. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And Ricky Rubio, known mostly for his ability to pass it and create opportunities for teammates. But, I think he's an underrated defender at that point guard spot. And maybe he doesn't get the credit he deserves defensively.
First one falls. And Greg, for Rubio, his defense is something that isn't talked about, but is certainly present all the time.
Yeah, he's smart, fast, he moves his feet well, and has terrific anticipation with his hands. Great playing both on and off the ball, and just aware of his spacing and a player's tendencies.
Both free throws good from Rubio.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player, excellent at the free throw line.
Outside for Davis. Rebounded by the Jazz. 1:36 left in the first quarter. There's the screen. Now Burks. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Most of the season completed. A good picture developing as to the top rookies in the league. So let's take a look now at the race for Rookie of the Year. You look at the doctor. Throughout the year, he's shown that he can be a big-time player in the league, and at number 5 on our list, you have to be excited for next season.
And being inside the top 5 of what is a wonderful rookie class is really quite an accomplishment in and of itself.
Well, it is, and there are people who think he should be higher in the rankings, and they might be right. He's had some moments this season that show how advanced his game is. Well, obviously, it's been an off night for him offensively, but give his teammates credit. They've bailed him out. He's still got time to turn it around.
Now, here is Holiday. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. And it's sent back by Mitchell. Allen against Burks. Feeds it to Mitchell. Passes it to Favors. He dishes it to Burks. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Burks has got a couple of threes now in the first for Utah.
Well, Burks is a lethal three-point threat. This guy has such an effortless shooting stroke.
Here's the screen. The doctor passes to Ajinça. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Shot clock at 6. Here's Davis. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. Holiday's got 3 assists now in this one.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
And here's Rubio. He has 7.
Already his second foul. He's in danger of getting into serious foul trouble early in this game.
The Jazz have made 3 of their first 5 foul shots tonight. And the first one drops.
Now, this is one of the most talked about international players ever, and I think Rubio just needs to stay healthy and keep working on that shot.
And so Ricky Rubio nails both of them. 12 seconds left in the first quarter. Davis sets a screen. The drive by Rondo. Off target at the rim. And so it's the Utah Jazz with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. And the three-point shot has been big for them. We'll return shortly. Welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And guys, from what we've been watching with the Jazz, what are you guys seeing out there?
I mean, they're winning the turnover battle, and oftentimes that can swing things your way.
Well, you really like the activity on the defensive end. Outstanding jumping into passing lanes and coming up with steals.
Taking a look at the Jazz, we've got Alec Burks. Dwayne Dedmon is out there with Favors. Then it's Ricky Rubio. And it's Mitchell in at the 2 guard. Of course, as we know, you were born in New York, grew up in New Jersey, lots of basketball talent in those areas. Who were some local players who influenced you early on?
Well, 1983 is the year the Philadelphia 76ers won the NBA championship, and that team was the epitome of cool, Kevin, right? You had the masterful doctor, the power of Moses Malone, but you know who I tried to emulate? Mo Cheeks.
No kidding.
Yeah, the steady, heady point guard who could make big shots and come up with a timely steal. I couldn't be the doctor. I couldn't fly like the doc, so Mo Cheeks is my guy.
Yeah, and last season, DeMarcus Cousins moving on in that blockbuster trade. Really impossible to get equal value for a star like Cousins, but he was pleased, I think, to put all the rumors of being traded to bed.
No good on the free throw. And with Cousins, he found out that he was being traded to the Pelicans while at the All-Star game in New Orleans.
And it's never easy fitting in with another star like the Brow, but Cousins is just so skilled that you knew they would find a balance. And at the end of the day, Cousins seems to be happy with the team who's committed to him. Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those 2 anchors on the front line.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Pelicans do have their challenges, but Anthony Davis remains committed to winning in New Orleans. He said, "I love it here. I don't plan on leaving. Yes, I fit into that old school category where I want to try to win where I start my career. That's always been a goal of mine. My goal is to bring a championship here." Kevin?
And David, loyalty does go a long way. Davis is a perfect guy to build your team around. He wants to win. Now, here's Burks, following the miss by DeMarcus Cousins. Just 5 to shoot. Lets it fly. But they'll get another chance. Here's Mitchell. And again, it's the Jazz from deep. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area, and every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
Here's Dedmon. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Burks kicks to Mitchell. Off target from outside. Pelicans trail by 12. The feed to Allen. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast. Rubio dishes to Favors. Burks kicks to Favors. The Jazz working the ball around now. Pass to Mitchell. He feeds it to Favors. Rubio outside. Floats one, and the layup is up and in. Rubio's got 11.
Boy, hard to shade Rubio defensively. He's always mixing up the moves, stays unpredictable.
Outside, Davis. Cousins with a screen for Davis. Dedmon with the block. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Mitchell passes to Burks. Here's Mitchell. Back to Favors. Rubio outside. Here's Mitchell. And poor shot selection there. Not a high percentage look for him. Rondo against Rubio. And it's Rondo penetrating. And the whistle blows, so a change here for a three-point play.
It's underrated, but Rondo possesses terrific strength. Even when you get the contact, he has a way of being able to create and finish shots.
Well, a few things have become clear with Rondo in the past few seasons. One, Greg, he needs to be happy with his situation in order to be productive. And two, he can give you big numbers at times, but he isn't the player he once was on that Celtic team.
Yeah, and Rondo, he's such a hard-headed guy and has his own way of approaching things. If you clash with him, everything goes up in flames with his game. He needs to be on the same page with his coach, and he's running out of coaches who will put up with it.
Now here is Cephalosha, still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
Wells kicks to Hill. Cousins with a screen for Hill. It's stolen by Gobert. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Burks. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and two shots coming up. That one on Wells.
Love to see Alec Burks get aggressive with the defense. This guy terrific getting the defense to foul him.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. Free throw good, Burks. Doors with all the switching on defense, it seems like everyone has to be able to guard both inside and on the perimeter. Do you see us becoming even more of a positionless league?
You know, this is a fascinating aspect to me because you focus on a player like Draymond Green, who coming out of Michigan State was considered a tweener, somebody who was neither a guard nor a forward and didn't have the requisite skill set to be effective in the NBA. But there is true value to players, be it at the small forward, the power forward, or the center position. Because the league is such a heavy pick and roll, because the floor is so spread, Kevin, the guys who have the kind of lateral mobility and the basketball IQ to switch onto smaller players and stay in front and contest shots, they're crucial. For right now, this is the trend, and I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon.
Here is Udo, following the score by New Orleans. Kicks to Cephalosha. And two free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And for a Jazz team that had patiently built itself into one of the top teams in the league, how tough is it, Doris, to lose a player like Gordon Hayward?
Well, it's brutal. He was their best player, an all-star, a huge blow. Because you think about Utah fans who have harbored concerns historically about the team's ability to retain star talent. This will feed those doubts, Kev.
Free throw good, Cephalosha. Ian Clark's checked in for New Orleans. Cephalosha hits both of them.
And just over 80% from the line right now. A big improvement over what they shot in that first quarter.
Screen by Cousins. Here's Rondo. Another one falls for New Orleans.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Burks kicks to Gobert. This is to Cephalosha. Back to Hood. Gobert with the screen on Rondo. Here's Hood. Great use of the pick to create room for the jumper. Hood's got 15.
Well, don't underestimate the in-between game of Rodney Hood. This guy can make shots from just about anywhere.
Moore left side. Outside for Rondo. Cousins with a screen for Rondo. Inside. And there's DeMarcus Cousins on the assist by Rondo. That's now 8 points for DeMarcus Cousins.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
And Gobert kicks to Burks. The Jazz working the ball around now. Pass to Cephalosha. Burks with it. He's picked up by Hill. Shoots off the screen. Burks can't get it to go.
Well, I wouldn't say the D was exceptional, but it certainly was enough to bother him.
Hood dishes to Burks. Yes, that goes in. 12 points for him.
Well, he's taking a lot of pressure off the other players right now with how well he's shooting it.
Screen by Cousins. Hill passes to Cousins. The dish to Rondo. He kicks it to Clark. To the middle. There's the pass to Cousins. Yep, that one goes in there. Cousins has got 7 points here in this quarter.
And now he's taken a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second.
Hood kicks to Gobert. And he's fouled on the shot. One free throw coming up.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
Well, guys, you talk about a player with Defensive Player of the Year capabilities. Look no further than Rudy Gobert. The 7'2" Frenchman has earned that nickname, the Stifle Tower.
Drew Holiday's checked in for New Orleans. The doctor comes in for Rajon Rondo. And Utah also making a switch. Jerebko's checked in. And the free throw, no good. And at this point, is there any question, Doris, that Rudy Gobert is the league's premier rim protector?
I don't think so at all, Kev. You look at the metrics. On average, NBA players shoot over 50% around the rim. But when Gobert's around the rim, it's about 30%. That's far and away the biggest impact in the NBA.
Hill inside. Udo's there. 6 to shoot. Passes it to the doctor. Holiday with the 3. It's rebounded by Udo. Jazz leading by 15. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, the doctor in the last game against the Wizards was a big factor. He finished with 24 points and was diming everybody up with an incredible assist game, setting up his teammates all night long. It was a great performance. Talking to his teammates, they all hope it's a sign of bigger things to come. See how he progresses tonight, Kevin.
Hey, David, thank you. Any chance he can match that, guys, in that performance again here tonight?
I tell you what, I know he believes he can. His confidence right now is sky high, and he doesn't think there's anybody that can stop him.
Well, there might not be, because he's coming into this game thinking he can be just as dominant as he was the last time he took the floor.
Here's the doctor. 6 points for him. Cephalosha with it. Feeds to Gobert. Hood against Holiday. Hood can't get it to go. And there's the foul. It'll go on Udo. That is his first foul of the game. And the Pelicans making a change here. Jins is checked in. Pelicans trailed by 17. The feed to Hill. Out to the right wing. Here's the doctor. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And Utah the other way now. Hood with it. Now guarded by the doctor. Outside Hood. He dishes it to Udo. And here's Cephalosha for 3. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Cousins has got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Ajinça, and count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
New Orleans shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one.
And really, they haven't been able to differentiate themselves from the free throw line on the season at about 76%.
One shot.
And that one misses. Or something that's become popular, debating whether a player is a star or a superstar. To you, what's the major difference between those two thoughts?
To me, the biggest difference between star and superstar are those guys who are willing to absorb the label on a night-by-night basis and a moment-by-moment basis. You can't disappear when the stakes get high. You can't disappear on a February night in the middle of the grind pre-All-Star break. Greatness requires you to come with it every single night.
And they don't care about the conversation about them. They're bulletproof in some ways, very thick skin.
Very Kobe-like attribute you just referenced.
Very good comparison. And so it's New Orleans with it, following the three-pointer by Utah. And now Utah, fast break. Here's Hood. Udo dishes to Hood. Basket number 8 is all good. He's attempted 12 shots.
From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
There's a good screen. Here's Cousins. Here's Ajinça. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And he's just had one attempt at the line early.
And so far this season, shooting at a 75% clip from the line.
Tony Allen's checked in for Hill. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Rudy Gobert. Favors comes in for Udo. Mitchell, he's checked in for Cephalosha. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Rodney Hood.
One shot.
Free throw good, Ajinça. And the New Orleans Pelicans last season with one of the worst offensive rebounding percentages in history.
Yeah, I mean, it improved somewhat with DeMarcus Cousins coming in. But I think really it's the team's philosophy, though. They value getting back in transition more than they value a chance to attack that offensive glass.
Now, here's Rubio. 11 points in the game. Excellent D there from the Doctor. Allen outside. Pass to the Doctor. Back to Allen. New Orleans moving the ball around. No good from the Doctor. Jazz leading by 19. Rubio outside. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. You just have to love the way Ricky Rubio plays defense. Fantastic at jumping a play, and Doris forcing a turnover for his team to get out and get a score in transition.
Right. I think the thing that stands out with Ricky Rubio is probably his anticipation. That is what makes him such a great defender. Active feet, active hands to bother shooters, incredible lateral movement, and an impressive wingspan.
First one falls for him.
And he just seemed to have a little more fire in the first quarter than he has in this one. And it showed in all the trips he made to the free throw line. Those have dried up.
New Orleans making a switch here. Davis is checked in. Both free throws good from Rubio.
And the Utah Jazz, historically, they've always been one of the better franchises in the NBA. And it was nice to see them back in the playoffs in 2017 after that 4-year rebuilding phase. It tied their longest playoff drought since the team moved to Utah.
Here's your Rebko. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Here's Mitchell, and then Mitchell with the dunk.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
Well, just loses his head for a moment. That's not overthinking. That's just not thinking.
5 seconds left now here in the second. Rubio. And so it's Utah, riding high with a 23-point lead heading into the break. They've got a big advantage in the turnover stats because of their intense defense. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Alvin Gentry. Coach, they had control in the first half. How were they able to do that?
Well, we turned the ball over, and our transition defense wasn't very good. We got to do a better job of executing, and we got to do a better job of just taking the shots that are available to us.
One thing at a time, get you back in. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. Without question, Rodney Hood displaying his skills today.
I mean, he was prolific in that first half. You know it's coming, but it's just so tough to stop.
And this is what he does, right, Greg? He's out there to score the basketball, and throughout that first half, he dominated.
Hill and Davis are the forwards. Ian Clark out there with the doctor, and it's Cousins in at the 5. That's Alvin Gentry's 5 as we get into the second half. Now Cephalosha after the missed 3 from the doctor. Here's Rubio, and Davis sends it back to the inside and stolen by Cephalosha. Rubio in the corner. And a wide open look for Hood. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. 22 points for Rodney Hood. Ball's knocked loose. About 1 minute played here in the second half. He feeds it to Rubio. And Utah, another 3.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from three-point range.
Gobert against Cousins. Down low. And the Jazz pushing it up now. Here's Hood. Softly drops in the floater. Hood's got 24.
Great beginning to this second half. Now 3 for 4 from the field.
Kicks to Cousins. Now here's Rubio. He's got 16. Good.
Oh, great ball movement there.
He's gone 6 of 6 from the free throw line. That's his first personal foul.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And that one falls for Ricky Rubio. The Pelicans shooting the ball at 42%. Dishes it to Davis. He's looking for Cousins and finds him. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert.
And Cousins is no joke down low. It's no surprise when the D elects to foul him, given his massive size.
He's made 2 of 3 from the stripe tonight.
In their last contest, guys, he was unconscious from the foul line.
The first one falls.
Yeah, and Cousins, with his physical style, always among the league leaders in free throws.
And Cousins drops them both. And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Now here's Hood. He's guarded closely. Gobert, the screen. Back to Hood. The tray. Second chance shot. Up again. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
It's never easy to keep Gobert off the glass. Soars over the defense for the putback jam.
The doctor passes to Clark. New Orleans moving it around. Puts it up from 12. And there's Cousins. That's good on the assist by Davis. 14 points for DeMarcus Cousins. Utah's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter.
Well, we know this about Jazz head coach Quinn Snyder. He has a wide range of coaching experience, right? He's coached at the college level, in the minors, over in Europe. And in today's game, I think that breadth of experience is invaluable.
Cephalosha misses.
Boy, a kickout's probably a better option when the defense is swarming around like that.
Hill kicks to Clark. Cousins with a screen on Hood. Outside for Davis. 5 to shoot. Davis setting the pick for Hill. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Hill's got his second bucket of the game to go. And you talk about that experience at different levels, Doris, different leagues. How does that help a coach like Quinn Snyder?
Well, Kev, we see the NBA game constantly evolving. In a lot of ways, it's becoming more like European basketball with the floor spacing and ball movement. So that experience can help him think outside the box.
So it's the Jazz now, following the score by New Orleans. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Wells, he's checked in for New Orleans. And Utah also making a switch. Burks, he's checked in for Rodney Hood. And Alvin Gentry wants a timeout. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Yeah, that was more than just a tough loss. That was a complete embarrassment.
Look, Greg, they simply didn't bring it. And that's one of those losses that you just have to throw away and forget about.
A chance to take a look at the shot chart for New Orleans.
Well, you have to give him credit because he's done everything he can to help contribute, but it doesn't appear to be in the cards for him tonight. A lot of strange releases, and he just isn't the same efficient scorer that we're used to seeing.
For New Orleans, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. To the paint, Cephalosha with the steal. And Rubio kicks to Jerebko. Pass to Cephalosha. Rubio outside. Stolen. To the inside. And stolen by Cephalosha. And here's the fast break. Cephalosha leading the way. And Cephalosha with the jam.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline. They're just tremendously physical. Cousins not afraid to rearrange some furniture in there.
Hey, watch Ricky, watch Ricky.
Now, here's Rubio. D right on him. He kicks to Urebko. At the top of the key, Gobert. The dish to Rubio. Gobert with a screen for Rubio. Clock at 4. And here's Cephalosha for 3. Drops in the tray. Cephalosha's got 13.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Knocking down triples repeatedly, the defense starting to look helpless at this point.
The pass to Burks. Pelicans pull it in. Cousins has got 13 rebounds in the game. Class eating. Wells in the corner. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. Wells has got his first 3 points of the game.
And Wells knows how to drop it in from deep. Whenever he has a clean look from downtown, he's going to get it up immediately.
Rubio with a screen on Cousins. Burks on the wing. 12 points for him. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
Alec Burks, Kevin, continuing to develop into a dependable scorer. He's got great size for a 2-guard.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
76% at the stripe for him thus far this season.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good. Burks. Doris, some people are pushing for Holcomb Rucker to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. What do you think are the chances of that happening?
You know, I think contributions to the game take many shapes and forms, Kevin, and obviously Rucker Park is one of the most identifiable places in the history of the game. If you're a city basketball player, you know Rucker Park. You tried to prove your bona fides there. So if the committee believes Mr. Rucker is worthy, I am all for it.
Now here's Rondo. Passes it to Wells. Moore outside. Outside Rondo. New Orleans moving it around. And another 3 for New Orleans.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
Utah's gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. Burks a screen on Rondo. Rubio dishes to Burks. Gobert the screen. Here's Udo. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper. Udo's got his 2nd basket of the game. Rondo against Rubio. Cousins with a screen for Rondo. To the middle. And there's DeMarcus Cousins on the assist by Rondo. Cousins has got 18 points in the game.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Rondo against Rubio. And here's Cephalosha for 3. And Utah another 3.
He's hit 4 now from behind the arc, 2 in each half, making an impact.
Feeds it to Cousins. And it's New Orleans scoring again.
Boy, his marksmanship has been unbelievable this quarter, and they're still down.
Rubio against Rondo. Udo kicks to Gobert. There's the feed to Cephalosha. Gobert the pass to Rubio. Dishes it to Burks. The 3-pointer no good. For New Orleans, they've gone 7 of 9 from the field to start this second half. Some tremendous shooting from them. For 3. It's rebounded by Udo. Udo's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Now Burks. 14 points for him. Rubio outside. Off target with his 3. New Orleans gone 2 of 5 with the 3-point shot since coming out of the break. Now here's Wells. Burks covering. Moore dishes to Wells. Drills the 3-pointer. He's got 6.
And Wells has such a quick release. He's ready to pull as soon as the ball hits his hand.
Rondo against Rubio. He dishes it to Cephalosha. He's feeling it. That one a little long.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Right, perfect contest in that instance, Greg, making it really hard on the shooter to have any kind of space at all.
Now Rubio after the missed three from Shammy Wells. Gobert the screen. Now here's Burks. Defense right on him. Here's Cephalosha, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
Two shots.
The first free throw is good.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
So for the Pelicans, Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Cousins. Allen comes in for Ejuan Moore. And it's Holiday in for Wells. Utah also making some changes. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Rudy Gobert. Favors comes in for Utah. And it's Mitchell in for Alec Burks. For New Orleans, they've gone 8 of 12 from the field since the beginning of the third. Davis kicks to Rondo. Lets it go from 14. That one rolling around and rims out. Utah's got more than a 50% success rate on their three-pointers since halftime. They're 4 of 7.
Well, Derek Favors has always gotten a lot of credit for his defensive abilities, but to me, his offense has come such a long way since he came out of Georgia Tech.
Now here's Rondo. They set the screen. Pass to Ajinça. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. He shot 2 free throws in the game, made 1 and missed 1.
At the line for your Pelicans, Alexis Ajinça. 2 shots.
That free throw missing. The doctors checked in for Rajon Rondo. Rodney Hood's checked in for Utah. Good on the second free throw. Here's Mitchell. He has 5. Outside Favors. Hood kicks to Favors. Favors with the screen. Outside Hood. 5 on the clock. Down low. Stolen by Allen. Outside Holiday. 1:51 left in the third. No good from the doctor.
Boy, the way he's been going, he is not going to be the guy to turn this around.
Hood for 3. Nailed from three-point land. Hood's got 27. New Orleans has gone 3 of 7 from three-point range here in quarter number 3. Here's the doctor, covered by Hood. Outside Holiday. Davis with a screen on Favors. Over in the corner, Ajinça. On the clock. Allen, that's good.
And that was a real quick comeback there. Both sides showing some range.
But both teams are pulling the trigger right now, showing great confidence from behind that arc.
Here's Mitchell. Back to Favors. He feeds it to Hood. Favors passes to Cephalosha. Hood for 3. There's Stedman, and good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Right, really a disappointing effort on the defensive end, not offering any challenge at all at the cup.
Hood drives in. That one off the back iron and out. New Orleans has gone to the three-point shot 8 times already in the second half and hit 4 of them. And stolen by Cephalosha. Here's Mitchell, guarded by Holiday. They grab their own miss. Floats one up, and Davis sends it back. Allen outside. Davis setting the pick for Allen. Over Cephalosha. And it's in. Oh, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
And they make sure to get the last shot of the quarter there. Nicely done.
Well, that's outstanding execution, Greg. You always want to get the last shot of the quarter, which is precisely what they did there.
And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. It's the Jazz just dominating this one. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter next. Let's take a listen now to Alvin Gentry.
Forget about the score and let's compete. Just compete. That's all. Not that hard to do now.
Without worrying about what's led up to this point, Alvin Gentry trying to refocus his players' efforts.
Yeah, I mean, dwelling on the point differential at this point isn't going to fix anything. But all 5 guys giving maximum effort, that might be a cure-all for a whole lot.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. And Utah looking at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. They've got Favors. Also Bradley out there. Exum is out there with Mitchell. And it's Neto in at the point. Now here's Allen. There's the triple. They get it again. Ajinça kicks to Holiday. Another shot. And that one off the back of the rim and in. Holiday's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Pelicans. And so it's Utah here with the ball. Neto kicks to Favors. To the middle. No one near him. Neto with the bucket.
I'll tell you, Kev, they wouldn't object if all their looks were that close.
Well, for New Orleans, shooting 49% on the game. They'll take that. The doctor passes to Allen. Over to the wing. And it's Holiday at the elbow. Shoots over Exum. Diallo kicks to Holiday. Launches a 3. Rebound, Utah. Here's Neto to the paint. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Of course, we know coaches need to win to keep their jobs. However, they need great players to win, which falls on the shoulders of a general manager. So why are more coaches fired for poor team performance than GMs, you think?
You know, I think what's fascinating to me, and this is a supposition I've heard other broadcasters talk about, which I believe should be instituted. Instead of just showing the coach's record on national broadcast, why don't we include the record of the GM? Because the coaches are not ultimately responsible unless they're responsible for both jobs, which we do see on occasion. But to me, the general manager has a significant role to the win-loss record, and both should be included.
And maybe when the owner says, hey, I'll pick the coach, it doesn't affect you. But if you pick the coach, you're tied with that coach. You're joined at the hip.
Great point. Great point.
Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Kicks to Exum. Favors with the screen. Exum dishes to Bradley. Mitchell trains it from beyond the arc.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Now here is Miller. Pass to Diallo. Here's the doctor. It's Allen on the wing. And they get it. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on Dante Exum.
And Allen, just an incredible defender. Has a grit and grind mentality and uses his speed and strong hands to just annoy offensive players.
That free throw, no good. Doris, one result of the new CBA, minimum contracts increasing 45%. That's a big help to the NBA's working class, I think.
Well, I don't think there's any question that you see increasingly role players, someone like Draymond Green, whose value has not necessarily translated in terms of points per game, but his value to winning can't be calculated. And you're right. You know, you see important role players and guys below the superstar level increasingly becoming better compensated. And hey, listen, there's more of the pie to go around. Who doesn't enjoy a little more cherry pie, Kev?
Yeah, good thoughts. Good thoughts. Here's Neto. Miller with the double team. Bradley passes to Neto. Count the basket.
And when you're on the road, this is how you silence the crowd. Tremendous all-around play.
And it's not easy building a lead like this on the road, Greg, but they have been lights out throughout this game.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
At the line for your Pelicans, the doctor, taking 2 shots.
First free throw is good. And the Pelicans making a change here. Moore's checked in. Both free throws good from the Doctor. There's one trend we've seen in the league, and emphasis on getting back defensively rather than pounding the offensive glass. I think of San Antonio a little bit when I think about that. Why is that, you think?
You know, I don't know if this is something cyclical and we'll eventually see teams emphasize getting to the offensive glass as a means to help them win. But one of the most dangerous aspects of the NBA right now is transition 3 opportunities. We're not even seeing teams get back to the hoop and build their defense out. At this point, they're sprinting to the 3-point line and then building back toward the hoop. So a drastic difference. We'll see if it changes at any point.
It's hard to believe that he's a point guard. I mean, he can power those dunks down as well as any big man in the league.
If not better. He's a phenomenal finisher.
And obviously makes him very difficult to defend because he can fly right over you.
They set the screen. Here's Mitchell. Rebounded by Ajinça.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Bradley with some nice D. Utah's gone 1 of 2 from 3-point range here in the 4th. Neto kicks to Mitchell. Bradley is screen on Miller. Mitchell's shot is good. Mitchell's got a couple of 3-pointers now in the 4th for the Jazz.
And really the defense didn't do a lot to fight around that screen on that possession.
Here's Miller, and it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Right. The effort could have been so much better. You've got to be willing to fight through that screen. There's no question about it.
Here's Mitchell. Udo kicks to Neto. And again, it's the Jazz from deep.
They've given up a lot of 3-pointers here today.
New Orleans has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. To the paint. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Doris, I've heard you talk often about instituting a play clock from the very beginnings of someone learning the game of basketball.
Kevin, I think this is absolutely critical to the future of the game of basketball here in the United States, because the Europeans right now, from the formative stages, from the youngest someone picks up the game of basketball, play under duress of the shot clock. And the reason that's important is you must be a 3-tool player to play under duress of the shot clock, meaning you've got to be a triple threat. You've got to be able to pass it, dribble it, and shoot it. And to do that with the pressure of a shot clock leaning in on you from those earliest moments is significant. And I know I have the backing of guys like R.C. Buford and Rick Carlisle. They believe, more important than me, intelligent basketball people believe that in the United States, we must institute a shot clock from the time guys and young women pick up the game.
And the second free throw, good. For Utah, they've gone 7 of 11 from the floor in the final quarter so far. And some solid looks for them. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Neto's got 9 points in the quarter.
In such a rhythm right now. Feathery touch. He's lighting them up.
It's stolen by Bradley. And here's Burks. He kicks it to Mitchell. There's the dish to Bradley. Here's Neto. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend the lead.
The doctor passes to Ajinça. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And Doris, looking at the financial health of the league, tremendous TV ratings with the finals coverage again. Nearly half the teams valued around $1 billion, which to me is just unfathomable. Are we in the golden age of professional basketball in this country, of the NBA?
I think certainly we are in one of the great generations for the NBA. And think about this. I know soccer is the most popular game worldwide, Kevin, but increasingly basketball beyond the borders of the United States is one of the most popular and fastest growing sports. So I don't think there's any question the NBA is at its peak of its popularity with no end in sight. And I think there's a reason for that. You know, I think there's something very tangible and touchable to the NBA fan. Look at a guy like Steph Curry. He looks like every man, and yet he's finding tremendous success. That's appealing to NBA fans of the next generation. I am simply blown away by his accuracy. He has made every shot, and what's most important, his team is winning.
The doctor passes to Ajinça. Feeds to Wells. Hill sets the screen for Wells. Here's Ajinça, the offensive rebound. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
Boy, look at how hard he pursues the basketball. Gets out of his area. Terrific work on the offensive glass.
And All-Star Week, a fan favorite certainly. But Doris, I've heard you say on more than one occasion you'd love to see a 3-on-3 competition.
Kevin, I think if you're trying to learn the game of basketball, putting yourself in a situation to play 3-on-3 is one of the greatest ways you can develop your game. One, it teaches you how to pass and cut, right? You cannot be effective in a 3-on-3 game unless you understand how to screen for somebody, how to set yourself up to come off of a screen. The shorter dynamic of the 3-on-3 in a half-court environment is one of the best ways to learn how to play the game of basketball.
I love that analysis. That's terrific. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. Derek Favors checked in for Bradley.
One shot, gentlemen.
Free throw good, Udo. And it's the Pelicans with the ball. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That game will conclude a 3-game homestand. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pelicans will retain possession. And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession.
Playing with lots of energy here, trying to cause turnovers.
I love the tenacity right now. Definitely on the prowl, looking for every opportunity to make a steal. The other team has got to be sharp.
Wells wide open. No good on the quick three. Utah's gone 4-6 from beyond the arc in the fourth quarter so far. Burks can't get it to go. New Orleans gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Outside Hill. Hill, a screen on Burks. A floater. And that's 2 points on the layup.
Boy, what touch. You know, a lot of guys don't have the kind of feel necessary to make the floater.
Here's Neto. And there's the pass to Mitchell. Hands it from downtown.
And you can see where they're attacking here in the fourth, strictly from the perimeter.
Well, they've got the green light to pull the trigger from three, and I'll tell you, they put it to good use here.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And there's the call. Utah the foul. Or as it seems like individual all-star and MVP voting is heavily influenced by how players' teams perform. Is that a good thing?
Well, I will say this, Kevin. I have a vote in some of the postseason awards. And if, in fact, I've got 2 players at the same position and I need some line of demarcation to separate one from another, a team's win-loss record may influence that. Now, you might say it's unfair, but sometimes the difference between a player making it and not making it is minuscule. I would say this to you, Kevin. I would like to see all-star teams go out to 15 players as opposed to 12. There are 3 teams, first, second, and third, all NBA. Why not have 15 guys on the all-star team?
Excellent idea. Both free throws good from the Doctor.
And after attempting no free throws in the first half, now he's putting the defense back on its heels.
Pass to Favors. Over Hill. Favors can't get it to go. For New Orleans, they've gone only 6 of 14 from the field in the fourth. From outside the arc, Wells' shot is good. Wells has got 9 points now in just the second half.
After being held scoreless in the first, he's turning it on here in the second.
Udo kicks to Neto. And that'll be Utah as it goes out of bounds. Jazz retain possession. Here is Favors. The feed now to Mitchell. Udo kicks to Favors. Shot clock at 6. Mitchell's shot is good. Mitchell's got 11 here in this quarter alone.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just killing them right now.
The Doctor passes to Moore. Coach Popovich down in San Antonio once said that a female NBA coach is going to happen. How much longer do you think it'll take for that to happen?
Well, I'm so grateful to Greg Popovich for getting the process that has to be part of the equation started, right? He hires Becky Hammon as the first full-time assistant in the NBA. Just like I would like to see doors open on the general manager side and let somebody start in the personnel aspect. Doors have to open before we can walk through them. It will take some time because you've got to pay your dues now as an assistant coach, but at least the process has started, and I'm so grateful to the Spurs and Pop for getting it started.
And to be quite honest, as a broadcaster, you're a pioneer from that end of it. We know that there's a lot of quality thought, male or female. You've represented female women very well with what you do.
I've been very lucky, Kevin, and thankful for the opportunity, certainly.
And for the Jazz, they're shooting 51% from the field. They'll take that. Dishes it to Mitchell. Neto kicks to Favors. Over Hill. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Utah.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And with this win, they'll end up notching another victory for this year's campaign, win number 33.
That's breathing a huge sigh of relief, guys. They're on their way to a win here, avoiding losing all 4 games of the season series.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Rodney Hood.
Boy, what a determined offensive presence he has been for them tonight. He carried the scoring load, and as hot as he was, it took a ton of pressure off his teammates all night.
Running up the score, showing no mercy.
At this point, they're completely overwhelming them. The opposition looks totally defeated.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Favors with the screen. Neto kicks to Favors. And a slam dunk by Favors.
And all the energy has been sucked out of this arena. This is not what the fans came to see.
Well, they took the crowd completely out of this game, and when you get a lead like that, it's sort of deflating for the home crowd. What a solid victory on the road.
Here's Neto. And so it's Utah easily grabbing the win. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Owen, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. So long, everyone.
That was bad. I mean, you played well in a couple of parts, but we lost, boo-boo. Well, yeah, next time just take the parts that you did good and do that for the whole game. Good idea. No problem, brother. Anytime.
yo, what's up, man?
All right, DJ, let's get everyone over here and get started. Moving, gentlemen.
Next time.
I see you, DJ.
Listen up. Nothing is gonna get us out of this streak other than grinding harder. Let's get it. I want to score earlier in transition. Man is up court, we gotta get the ball to him. Today we're gonna work on being more efficient at running our fast breaks. Way to finish strong. Let's set up this next drill.
right, DJ, let's get to work. Now, here's what we're going to do. Be serious, DJ. Come on. Still work to do, DJ. Let's get back to it soon. All right, DJ, let's get everyone over here and get started. Not your best effort today, DJ. Certainly not your worst. See you later.
For juice? Thanks, man.
Welcome to Swags.
Cool. Thanks. Hey, can I try this on?
Sure. The fitting room's right there.
Thanks.
Great. Thanks for coming in. Welcome to Swags.
Cool. Thanks. right, thank you.
Thank you for coming by. See you next time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
DJ,
Stat.
superstar.
Man.
Talk to me. Hey, DJ, when you gonna hook me up with the sneak contract of your shoe plug? Huh? You know, your shoe plug. Hook me up, man.
Hey, what size do you wear, Jules? I got you on a free pair.
I'm thinking a little bigger. I'm gonna be the first barber with the shoe contract.
But you trolling me right now, man?
Hey, don't trolls live under a bridge? I'm serious, man. Come on. Like, people depend on me to know it looks good, right?
Right. Yeah,
so I'm saying we cut out the middleman, and I design my own shoe.
I hear you, man.
Right? But are you listening?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Progress, baby. That's what I'm talking about. You hear that, Doc? Get my own shoe.
All right, back to these trolls. Like, how many actually are there? Because I'm terrified of trolls. I think this one will look great. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
Man, you are a handsome man. Look at that.
Fans are gonna love this one, man. You read my mind.
Showroom floor. Showroom floor.
Lady Jules, Lady Doc.
Go get him. Go get him.